Well, I've just had a quick look at this engine this afternoon, had the tank and carb off and just blasted the carb with carb cleaner and had a look at it, and you know, just washed the tank out with a bit of petrol like, and so I thought we'll put some in and just whiz it round and see, and I'll probably put a capful in the carb and just see if we can get it running a bit longer, because like I say, I'm not you know, it's got to be able to run, that's the thing. You've got to do one thing at a time. I won't put too much in because I'll have to empty it out and then it will stop in the house and stink, won't it? Like it did yesterday, but you know, we're used to that. It's the trials and tribulations of that. So as I say, all I've done, managed to get the carburetor off, and oh, it's marvellous, isn't it, here? One of the nuts that you can't get at, and I don't seem to have any small AF spanners anymore. I've used them all up or whatever I've done. The longest bit was getting the fill cap off, to be honest. I've had it took quite a bit of persuasion. It was rusted on, and you know how it is. So all I'm going to do first is pull the choke on. I've had a look, I've not looked at anything on the carb, and the throttle bit, I should show you that really. I'll show you it afterwards. Anyway, there's a bit missing on the governor bit, we're not going to use the governor, so all I'm going to do is spin it round . I'll put a capful of petrol in the plug, in the carb I should say. Although it's often pays to put it in the plug because it gives it a kick and pulls it through, but I'll put a drop in the carburetor first, just see if we can suck that through. Well, that certainly worked a bit, didn't it? But it's not sucking anything, not checked the diaphragm or anything. So we'll do that again. I think it's running out of petrol. Hang on, I ain't clamped it down, have I? It's definitely not sucking any petrol up, but we can look at that later. But as I say, I've just given the carb a quick look. I've not looked at the diaphragm, which is probably split. I've just blasted some through the passages, and that seemed to work. So, you know, I'll have to, maybe the diaphragm, most likely the diaphragm's no good, you know, but we can see. Anyway, it seemed to run alright, didn't it? Let's see if we can. Yeah, it's not sucking petrol. Well, I just wanted to show you that short run today because while I was just trying it, because I think, well, I know that I'll be waiting for stuff now. You know, it most likely wouldn't need a diaphragm in it, as you can see. It's not sucking anything, so I can investigate that anyway, and that can be got, but as I say, it's going to be a bit of a waiting game now, and the way I'm going to do it. So I can get plugs, of course. I've got old ones. So the basic idea, and this isn't big enough obviously, is to get one or two pieces of aluminium and make like a head gasket, a spacer. And then if we can cut the middle out plug, cut the plug up, because it's insulation, isn't it? And I think if we can then either, and I can, that's the thickest bit I've got, but it's not quite quarter. I need to be able to drill a small hole through the side. Right, are you with it? Well, of course you are. You see? Or, if that fails, this will be the right thickness. Cut a groove in there. As I say, cut out a piece, the shape of the head gasket, maybe slightly smaller. And then cut a groove through there so the centre of the plug goes through like that. So then we get an insulated electrode into the cylinder. That's what I'm trying to do, obviously, you know. So I'm in effect, I'm making a plug. But I don't want to, I mean, it'd be quite a simple job to alter it and put another spark plug in, a tiny one, something. But, you know, like Jonathan did, if someone says, oh, you got another spark plug in, no, you know, you've got to be truthful on it. So that's what I'm going to do. But as I say, that's got to take a lot of doing, and I've got to wait for some more stuff. So I've got these plugs that came out of my Kawasaki in 1986, I think, because I bought some different ones when we had a problem with it. So I've got these three. So what I'm going to do is, you know, I'll play about with these and cut them up and just see what we've got. And you might even get some a bit smaller, because as I say, the problem is, you see, is insulating, you know, the centre of the conductor wire from arcing out before it gets inside. And then of course it's got to be quite a simple job to, if you get that just poking through, it's got to be quite a simple job to make that bit, isn't it? A little bit of metal and just screw it on or whatever, you know, so you can get a constant gap. Because I know how, like Jonathan did it, it wasn't, I know he told us he was struggling to keep the gap consistent doing it that way. So that's what I'm going to try and do, and I seriously think that that'll work, although it might take, you know, a number of different times and attempts. Now of course the other thing is that I think, that's why I have me measure here, and I know you're upside down, but let me come that way around, and I'll have to whittle the viewfinder up just to, so I can see. You see, that is a quarter, right? And looking at that, I think you'll agree that it's large enough. I know it looks bigger on the thing, but you know, that's big enough to get a hole through. Because it's only, what is it, 3/4 of an inch, something like that, I don't know. Till I get the head off and have a look, I don't know. You could even make it smaller, you know. It's not going to have to run very long. Well, of course, doing it that way, you've got to drop the compression down, which is partly why I've got to get it running in the first place, because I've got to do it one step at a time. Well, of course, if the compression's too low to run, it's got a small plug in, hasn't it? So it's got to be, it needs lifting up again. And so all you've got to have to do is to, if you get something like that, say, and put a hole in the middle, spark plug size hole, and you're not using your plug of course, so put a long reach plug in like that and screw that to it, you know, and it's going to heighten the compression again, isn't it? Because as I said, you know, the engine, it's not going to run for more than 2 or 3 minutes at a time. You might start it up and show a couple of people, but you know, a couple of minutes running, that's all it's got to do. And of course, when they've seen it, you know, by the time word gets round pretty quick, well, you won't be showing it at all, will you? So it's not really a thing. Anyway, what do you think? Do you reckon that idea will is worth pursuing at all or not? Or have you got a better idea for me? Is there a much simpler way of doing it? Because I don't think there is. And I've looked round different ones, you know, and things, because they don't show it. There is video up where he takes the plug out and there's not much coming out. So on that one, I'm assuming he's made a dummy head inside. But that's only an assumption. He hasn't shown how he's done it, and I haven't seen. But he does actually take the plug out when it's running and sticks a rag in the hole. And there's not a big gush of stuff coming out. The engine doesn't stop. So I'm assuming he's made like a dummy head inside. But the way Jonathan did it, putting an electrode through the side, is, I think, the best way of doing it. But because of the problems he had doing it, and as I say, mine is, you know, it's not going to look pretty. I'm not making it look very pretty, but you know, it's got to be a bit consistent, because if I take it to a show and to show someone, take it 2 or 3 times and then it's failed, like, well, it's a bit pointless, isn't it? Right, so that's it. That's my first idea. Look forward to your comments as ever. And as I said, it's now going to be, well, I don't know when the next one will be about this, because obviously I don't know what I've got. So anyway, I hope you're enjoying this little series, and it's proving to be a bit of interest. What else can I say? You know, I just hope you enjoyed it. 1 or 2 people said they have. So, as Roy says, we'll see what develops. In a bit, my lads. See ya.